All right, Danielle and Jason, man, where were you guys in there? Everyone was expecting you, Danielle. I wish you were in there. I wanted to play with you. But man, let's do this. I'm excited to.
Yeah, let's do this. Dani, he knew who you were. I don't know how long he's been watching the show. I know he did talk about a moment when he was watching it as a much younger person, and his father passed away at the age of 17. It was very touching. So maybe he knows who you are from that All-Star season 1.
I don't know. He kept saying, old school is not the best. Old school sucks. New school is better. But I'm just saying.
Somebody is throwing down the gauntlet. Dani had a lot of questions for him after his eviction, but I think the one thing that we need to start with is the HOH, like this week, like was Cody like the most like guy, like and welcome to the like secret alliance, like. All right, they milked it on the show. We got to do it here too, Dani.
Oh my God,
that was a funny moment.
It was a funny moment.
A bunch in real life. I'm with you, Cody.
I say like all the time, like.
So Cody's like we used to joke about in the 90s, Valley Girl. That's his.
Oh, he's a Valley
totally
boy.
Awesome.
Whatever, totally awesome. Like, oh my God.
Under Cody's HOH, he dominated. He won the HOH. Then he controlled the power of veto. He didn't want to change his nominations. Tyler and Christmas were on the block, and Christmas survived. Tyler went home. What were your thoughts? Did these players make a mistake getting rid of Tyler?
Oh, absolutely not. You know, one thing about Tyler, when you watch him in his first season, man, he was so masterful in his original season. And even in this season, he was very tactful. You can tell he's a very masterful strategist, and he gets it, right? So he even said in his diary room, they should get rid of me. And they made the perfect move to get rid of Tyler. It was perfect.
I know fans were disappointed.
Yes.
It was sad to see him go. He had really been endearing. I know there were some mistakes he made along the way. We talked a little bit about that last week, the Day and Bay week where they were on the block, and he said he was going to go instead of them. I think that was a moment where he got his head out of the game, don't you?
Yeah, I think a couple things. His newfound love for Angela really affects him in the game. But Jason, I when you don't have that person, that ride and die person, or that person that you connect with in a game, it's a very difficult game to play because you don't have trust. And he tried to build a certain relationship with David, but David blew up his game and voted him out. I mean, it's all kinds of things, right? So you kind of, I understand where he was coming from quite personally. So it was a very difficult game for him this time around, just like it was a difficult game for me when I played All-Stars. I didn't have that person that was going to be my ride and die. And, the other thing is he had some issues with Bayleigh from the first time around. And I had a similar thing. I had Marcellus issues, right? So it was a difficult. I really am empathetic to Tyler because we both placed second on our first season, and we both placed sixth on All-Stars. So we have some type of kinship. So Tyler, I totally get it. It's funny how he said he wish I was there. I'm like, do you? Do you really?
Would you have targeted him, Dani?
For sure. Oh my God, he's such a comp beast. Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
You would have gone after him. Okay, well, this gets us to our first question here. We asked Tyler, as Julie, after the eviction, talked, you told her, we're saying this to Tyler, that was a question they asked him, that he was in his head a lot. And he told Julie he was doubting himself and slipping away from true intentions and were reckless. So we wanted him to explain what he meant and what were some of his priorities going into the game other than just winning it.
Right. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. I struggle with my self-confidence a lot, which is easy to do in this day and age. And something about that house just made me like doubt myself even more than I did the first time and doubt my abilities. And I felt like I was at a battle inside my head to like do the right thing and at the same time play the right kind of game and play the game to win. And I just couldn't get it. It took me a while to get a good grasp on everything. You know, I had a lot of things that I wanted to show. Like I wanted to show like my heart was in the right place, but at the same time I wanted to win. And sometimes you just can't have both. And when I realized I couldn't have both, it really set me off. So I'm glad and thankful that I even made it that far. And I'm thankful and proud of myself that I pushed through all of that.
I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. And I understand what he was talking about. It was the reason that week I thought I needed to nominate Roddy on season 3 and just couldn't put myself there to do it because I had given him my word about that week. I wasn't going to put him up. And so I know what he's saying, where you're trying to play with some honor.
Yeah, it's that moral compass that a lot of players have internally, right? So for me, I was the villain on season 3, right? And I was a cold-hearted player, vicious player. But when I knew that I hurt a lot of people, it was very important for me in All Stars to be more respectful, right? So even James Ryan's like, I wanted BB3 Dani back, BB3 Danielle. And I'm like, oh, she's scary. Do you really want her back? And it's tough because you don't know if you go vicious and just play the game and don't have that moral compass or that integrity, or can you do both? And it's very hard. It's a slippery slope. So I get where he's coming from. I get it, Tyler. I totally get it.
And he's going to be okay when this is all said and done.
Yeah.
One of the things that you got to notice about a lot of the people playing this All-Star season is they really didn't need the money. Life has treated them pretty well after their first or second or third season of being on Big Brother.
Yeah, exactly, right? Whatever.
Yeah, so these players are doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think they're doing well. I think you get to the point where it's just it's not about the money, you know. It's about the win. It's the W. So, and then some people need that redemption to like, I'm going to go back and I'm going to paint a different picture for the fans or for America to see me in a different light. And that's important to them too. So there's based on what's happening in our nation of the strife and conflict and the division we have, it kind of affected this season as well, you know, with people's beliefs and passions. And so I get where he was coming from. You know, I gave accolades and kudos to Davon saying what she said on several live evictions and even in the diary room. So it was this season was tough for a lot of the players in there. Yeah.
I just wonder if maybe there wasn't that hunger from some of the players where you felt like they were okay if they went home when they went home. And maybe that's why the season fans have said it's just not magic like we want, the season where we see people really trying to win it. There are a couple of people in there right now who are hungry. And I guess that's why they're still there.
The fans want the player to bathe in their blood. They want chaos. They want the villain. They want the cutthroat, the backstab. They love that stuff. They eat all that up. And this season, they didn't have that so much. It was maybe the hinky vote, but there wasn't really a lot of blind sides. And, you know, we like that as fans. We like for someone to go, what? I'm walking out the door. You're like, yep, you sure are. Because that's what makes great TV. And we just didn't have it that much this season. It's almost like they knew they were going home. Like, okay, well, I'm glad this is over. And you could see the relief in people's faces. Relief. And that is when you play the game the second time, when you finally get kicked out, you are like, whew, oh, I'm so glad it's over with. Give me my In-N-Out burger, animal style. I am ready to go. Period.
Dani, you can't talk about an In-N-Out double animal style right now. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. I'm in Florida.
So good. I know.
The closest one to me is Vegas. I know.
So
I know where they all are, Dani.
Let's make a trip real quick.
Yeah, right. I'm not getting on a plane right now. Let me tell you that. Okay, let's talk about Tyler's original season. We asked him, "Hey, Tyler, a large alliance there benefited your game. Do you feel this time a large alliance hurt your game? And should you have turned on the committee? Why did you and everybody seem to play it safe? And was that a mistake?"
Yes.
Yeah. Level 6 on my season is the reason I made it to the end. Even though we lost 2 people pre-jury on Big Brother 20, we still somehow made it. And when I was a part of the committee this season, I honestly did not want to be a part of it. When Memphis first brought it to me, I just remember thinking like, man, I would have put Memphis and Nicole F on the block because I just didn't have a relationship with them. And now I'm in alliance with them. So I felt like it made sense because the committee won every single thing. And yeah, they played it safe. And I was the first one to draw blood on the alliance and get out Dani and try to shoot a shot at Nicole. And they didn't like that too much. So they definitely thought I was reckless and a loose cannon. So I definitely understand why they wanted to get me out. 1,000%.
Interesting. Because if he didn't go with that alliance and he won an HOH instead of going after Janelle, that probably would have given us a better season. Period.
Yeah, would have.
Right? Because then that would have changed
I think there
everything.
were a couple of things. Yeah, it could have changed everything. I think a couple of points in the game, there were moments where just a little thing that would have taken place, it would have changed the trajectory.
Totally.
And I think that's what's so frustrating for fans, that everything seemed to work so perfectly for the committee.
And if hearing that, then that just solidifies my thought process. If they would have just played the game for their own personal game instead of following the herd, that would have changed this entire season. It would have changed it would just been completely different. And if he said I would have went after Memphis and Nicole, can you imagine on his first HOH instead of targeting Janelle? That would have because then the committee would have been blown up. And then everybody would have scattered like cucarachas with the lights turned on. And it would have been a totally different game. Oh, God, it would have been so good.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely fun.
I wish you could have been in there pulling the strings. Puppet master, Dani.
Oh, no, not me. No, I get along with everybody. What are you talking about?
You actually do. All right, let's talk about the goodbye messages. We wanted to know, has Tyler heard those, especially while that eviction is fresh? It's stinging. Did any of the eviction night goodbyes change how you might vote? What was going through your mind about the double and triple dipping you mentioned to Julie? And what are you looking for when you cast a vote for the winner of BB22?
I don't know. I definitely think a lot of the moves these guys are pulling off are pretty impressive, for sure. I'm not going to say it influenced my vote one way or another, or if it did, but yeah, there's a lot of people double dipping, triple dipping. It's crazy. That's kind of what I was trying to avoid because I was kind of known for that from Big Brother 20. So I didn't want to do it again because everyone would be sketched out. But I guess that was the move this year. I'm just interested to see what happens in this final 5 because some people are going to have to make some choices and they're going to have to make their bed and lay in it. And I am excited to see.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what
you're going to make your bed. You're going to have to lay in it. And he knows.
He knows.
I mean, it is interesting that he didn't want to do the double dip and triple dip. And he said that was the move of the season.
I could have sworn in the beginning of this season, he was saying everybody wanted to be in line. He goes, sure, you want alliance? Let's do alliance. You want alliance? That's what you do. If you want a triple, quadruple, a whole bunch of dipping and dipped out, skinny dip, I don't know what kind of dip you want, then do it. You know what I mean? So I'm surprised he didn't try to secure more alliances. So. Okay.
I mean, Tyler, though, he made it a good long way with this strategy, but when he started turning on his alliance and he voted against Nicole there. He and Christmas made that move. I think even just his final part of the triple eviction week, gaining that power, it was a reminder to some of those guys who went, oh, yeah, right, he's a comp beast. We got to get rid of him. So let's talk about that one week. And we brought it up a little earlier where Bay and Day were on the block and Tyler said, hey, I'm going to go in their place. We just wanted to get some clarification. We wanted to hear it from Tyler. Break it down for us. Here's what he told us.
Honestly, I think after this, it's probably easy for them to think my intentions weren't genuine, honestly. But I feel like after this, they're going to realize that it was and that I was being genuine. So I'm really excited to actually be friends with them outside of the house. And I do understand why they would think that was just strategy because it's me. But something about this season, man, my heart was making the moves over my brain sometimes. But yeah, I'm definitely really excited about being friends with them.
Interesting. Yeah, I think it's a deep discussion that that I would love to have with him on a personal level. And I do think he generally was homesick and he generally wanted to leave because his heart was not in the game. And I think he went to those two ladies. I don't know, Jason. It's really it's a very tough discussion to have. And then I always said that he probably would have went through it if Davon didn't tell Crispen that Bayleigh wanted his head on a platter. And I think you could see that light switch flip on him. Like you see him being compassionate, generally caring player, right? But then when he found out Bayleigh, even after he tried to stay, self-evict, and she's like, I still want his head and I don't believe him. You could say you could see him turning it off and flipping the script. So I don't know. It's a tough topic to talk about. But I think Tyler is a bad person? No, I think really he's a genuinely good guy. I really do in my heart. It's just the optics could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, I think you're right. Mm-hmm. And I do hope that there can be a time where everybody gets together and Bay and Day and Tyler can talk this through and there's growth. I think that something good can come from it. Right.
And a lot of times, I keep saying this to fans, the paranoia is so rampant in that house, right? And we're not privy. When you're a player in that house, you're not privy to the side conversations. So the live feeders, well, he said this and he said that, and she should have known he was lying. They don't know any of that. You don't know that. So all they're doing is going with gut and paranoia, basically. And sometimes
that sounds like a good dip. I'll have some gut with a side of paranoia or gut paranoia dip.
It's so crazy. And so they're going to make stupid decisions, right? That's just part of being human. And then of course,
everybody also tries to have such a good read and they want to, I saw this, I figured this out. And so they're watching for those types of things. And sometimes while you're looking for what's hidden, you miss something happening right in front of you.
Right. And then it's you don't trust anyone, so you're all scared. And every time someone tells you something, you're like, no. I mean, people could have looked me in my face. It's like, your name is Danielle Reyes. I'm like, you a lie. My name is not Danielle Reyes. You a lie. And you know what I mean? Who told you that? Who said that? Well, it's on your mother. I'm like, oh, you didn't talk to my mother. That's a lie. It's just a lot of things like that happen. So I think the fans need to understand that because they're so harsh on them. And sometimes you got to understand they don't know what you know.
And a lot of times in that house, you don't know a lot. And I think it was so telling on Thursday night's episode when we saw those jury members comparing notes and everybody was still a little like, whoa. Oh, so this was happening. Oh, that was happening.
Yes.
Oh, now I get it. And I still know that there are pieces to this puzzle they don't know yet. How Enzo is double dipping and side dipping and these little alliances Cody has going. Yeah,
that's it. I'm telling you, when that man says that's it, he's lying through his teeth. And the other
that's it.
That's it.
He did it. You're right. He did that to Tyler.
He did. That's it. That's it. And they, people have
Enzo.
cows. And you know what's so funny about that jury? Before Dani walked in, they thought she was the leader of that alliance and the mastermind. And when she walked in, they were shocked. And she's like, I got so much to tell you. And she was still hurt by the Cody vote. And
but I did think that she said on Thursday night's episode, she can look past it. It's game. She's hurt, but I think Cody could still get her vote. Don't you think so?
See. I think it all depends.
Let's say, though, it's Cody and Enzo. Dani, I think she goes Cody.
I hope so, but I don't know. I just don't know.
Wait, let's just break that down. If you're seeing Cody and Enzo on the block, you're voting for Cody. You're voting strictly on
me
Dani.
Personally?
Yeah.
Oh, well, but you can't ask me that question because I know too much. But right now, Enzo's lying through his teeth.
But he's playing some good social game.
But Cody's only playing comp game.
Yeah.
So you have to think what's important. Is comp wins will solidify the winner, or the social game is going to solidify the winner. It's a trick. It's you can't separate the two, because if you think about
social game is going to come into this a lot because we've got some people who feel hurt.
It is, but I told you, Enzo has to make a big move, and he missed his opportunity with Nicole. Now, if Enzo, for some reason, if this man kicks out Cody, you can give him that check. I'm serious, because he will have to make one big move. If he makes one big move. If he did
that. Do you think, though, him getting Memphis out is enough? Because I think that's the way he's angling. I think the Jersey boys, the Root Alliance.
No, because if he does that and he looks the jurors in his face, I had to get rid of Cody because I knew I couldn't beat him. Do you know they were like, bing, ding, ding. He'll get Kevin, Ian, Dani's vote, David's vote, Tyler vote right there. Because that would be huge.
That would be huge. Enzo's got to win something, though.
He has to win something, and he has to get out Cody. Will he do it? Probably not.
I think he's aligned with him. They're ride or die.
He's playing the exact same game he played when he had the brigade. Yeah. You took Lane, you took Hayden. Those two guys were so well liked, and he was too loyal at a fault, right? And so he has to. And I told him I said, you got a scumbag. You got to. And I told him, he said, all right, I got it. Now this was X amount of years ago, but I kept telling him, I said, you play again, you got to be cutthroat. You got, and he said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. He probably said, that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I believe you, like a dummy, but I don't know.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, he's played a good social game. I got to give it to this guy. So we did ask Tyler while we had the chance to ask him some things, because fans love this kid. They want to see him probably play it again. Would he come back for All-Stars 3? Maybe he'll be a coach or mentor or something, or maybe it's like fans versus favorites or something. Woof. Would Tyler play the game again? Well, we asked him, and if you play Big Brother again, who would be on your wish list to play with in the future?
Interesting.
Oh my gosh. I do not want to play Big Brother again. I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Twice in a lifetime is pushing it. So that was too much for me, man. I don't think I could handle it again, but I am so forever grateful that one, I got picked the first time, got to meet Angela, and now I'm forever considered an all-star. That is like mind-blowing to me. So I don't know, but you guys should go play. Like, where were you? I hope to see you guys play, man.
Okay. That's the proof. I feel like I would have an all-star season like that where you go, done, out. That hurt.
Yeah, he says that now, but you guys, it's one of those, it's like a drug, you're addicted to it. So, it's hard. And I said, when I said no this time, I knew in my gut, I was like, oh, it's going to make me angry that I'm not in there. Right. And I said it. I said, oh, I should have been in there, but we'll see, they might call him back, he might have a stipulation that Angela has to be in there with him. I don't know. Who maybe they'll do a couples.
What a target. And she would go quickly. I feel like they would target her.
Now she's vicious. That is
I
one
think she's a good player.
piece. She's
I'm
a
not
good player,
getting into
yes.
that, but I think they would target her. Some of the guys might work with Tyler and they go, hey, we need him around a little bit. And Angela's out early if they came in as a pair. Now, what could be interesting if they did some duos and that.
What'd you say, Jason? I'm listening. What? If they do what?
The duos, Dani.
Duos? That'd be great. Yes. I'm just saying. What'd you say? Duels? Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's move along here after asking Tyler about if you play Big Brother again.
A shortened season, right?
I mean, real short. Okay. We did want to get his take on this game. We want to know what he thinks about those final few players. And we're dwindling down. Keep in mind, Big Brother is coming to an end on Wednesday night, October 28th. That's the finale. We're going to crown a Big Brother 22 winner. So we said, which of these players do you think is in there doing great? Who's playing well? Who would you have targeted? Let's say he had power. And who do you think will follow you into the jury house? And then, we said, crazy, take a pick. Who's going to win it?
Right. The typical question.
It's tough. I think, honestly, I feel like Cody is playing a really good game. I think he's won a lot of competitions. He's got some blood on his hands, but I think he's covered in a lot of ways. But given that, that's who I wanted to come after if I stayed. I wanted either him or Memphis to go 5th, preferably Cody. I would have come after him because I thought he was the biggest end game threat.
That's it. I've said it. I think Cody's going to have to win an HOH. If he's not winning an HOH, he's definitely got to win a POV. He has to win the remainder of this game. He has to win. Because if he doesn't win either or Nicole to help his side piece, he's in big trouble. And it's funny because they have to start thinking, can I beat who's left in this house? And no one can beat Cody at this point. Everyone has to be thinking that. Christmas, Memphis, Nicole, maybe not, because Nicole's like, oh, I'm happy just to be here when you win. And then she'll sit up there.
That's so good.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize I did a Nicole. But she'll probably sit up there and she'll win, something at the last minute. And then she'll be like, I told you I'll be dragging. She'll be sitting right next to me, right here. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe Cody's trying to take Nicole to the final 2.
That's what we don't know. And I know that they've probably revealed that some in the diary room. They've given the producers a little better insight into the final game strategy. But we're still in the dark. We don't know all of that. And it could change. Things could happen. But right now, I know his final 3 would be an Enzo and a Nicole for Cody. Don't you think? I think he feels those 2 he can beat in competitions and in the end if he sits next to either one.
Yeah, Cody has to get rid of Memphis. That's a given. I don't know. You still got that holiday in there. You got that holiday and you don't know what she gonna do.
No, you sure don't.
You don't know because she is, wow. I have no words. No. So,
and to consider this show wraps up on the 28th. So just days before Halloween, like what if, the holiday won it all right there.
I don't think she has a chance of winning. I don't think Christmas has a chance of winning. I don't even know if she can win
in some aspects. But I think,
Nicole.
You put her right next to Nicole. Let's say that. What if that's the final 2, Nicole and Christmas, and the jury says, I'm not giving it again to someone who's already won this game.
And that's a shame.
The resumes are not equal. Christmas has won some things. A couple of things. Well, not always won them on her own. I know we got all that dispute, but fans are disputing those.
I always say that. But here's the thing. I hate the fact that people go, oh, we're never going to give it to a winner again. Mm-hmm. That you should not have that mentality. If a winner is sitting in the final 2 and they played an exceptional game, social, and won comps, it's the best player. It's not who needs it or who's won already. This is not the charity tour, as someone said before. So if Nicole, the only problem I have with Nicole, and this is just me speaking from experience, is the house guest that doesn't do anything for the entire season, and then they make a couple big moves at the end, and then you deem them as a winner. And that's just me on a personal level, you guys. Nothing against Lisa, but you know, you and I worked really hard that entire season, so it was hard. So I personally will never crown someone a winner for something like that. If you're a sleeper and you stay asleep, and then just because you have a couple big moves at the end, you will not get my vote. And that's just me. You'll have to explain a lot to me for me to give you your vote.
Got that.
And that's
the kids in the other room, they are with you on that.
They agree with that.
Squealing.
Yeah, it's just right. So if Nicole did, like, if she won a couple HOHs, or she made some big power moves, or she was not, say if she didn't listen to Dani and did vote for Ian and made a move and make Dani make the decision, that I can respect. But I really I cannot vote for a winner who sleeps through the whole entire season and then decides kicks butt at the very end and like, oh, then they should be the winner. I won't vote for someone like that. That's me on a personal level.
No, it makes sense. I love to hear your thought. Let's talk about where things stand right now. And we want to give a spoiler alert because you won't see this for a little while, a few days from now on the episode, but we have a new HOH. Right. And are you ready for this? Is it?
Oh, I know who it is.
We've got Nicole Franzel as the HOH. As
the HOH. She's making a move. So
and this is what you're talking about. Right here at the end.
Right at the end.
Now you show up. Now you're going to play some game here.
Now you're going to play some game and not whine and cry and be nasally.
There will still be some of that. I rewatched the Zingbot, and let's just say, Zingbot was brutal.
I loved it.
She was really funny with her reaction. She's like,
her reaction.
You want me to do? Talk like this? This is so boring. She was like,
oh my God, I'm whiny.
It was hilarious. Come on. She couldn't have planned that more perfectly, Nicole. That was great.
It was great, Nicole.
Moment.
So,
and we picked on her a little bit. I get it, but all these people they're working hard, and for everybody who is watching the show, the fans of the show, you got to give these people props because they're almost into 70 days in that house.
Right.
That's a long time to be away, knowing they also had to be in quarantine for a couple of weeks before going into the house.
Right.
So they've been away from their families. That's a lot. Right. It's a huge sacrifice and a commitment.
And here's the thing. What fans respect is you owning it. If you're going to be cutthroat, then you look in the camera and say, I'm owning it, right? I was cutthroat. Will was cutthroat. Vanessa didn't own her cutthroat either, but that's what fans like. So Nicole, when you prop or you say things for the optics, that's when you lose the respect for fans. So you got to own it. So with her, for her, and the other thing, the hypocrisy, like, how dare you lie? And I'm like, you were lying too. Did you forget? Dang, why are you being so mean about it? You lied too. And so that's the thing too, is like, they often forget. And I think the reason why fans appreciate my game, because I owned it. In the diary, I'm like, I'm lying. Oh my God, did y'all see that I lied through my teeth? And I owned it, right? And I didn't have no qualms. I didn't pull any punches. And that's what fans want. So what we don't want is someone trying to be politically correct because of social influences. And that's the difference between old school versus new school, quite frankly.
I agree. Okay, let's talk about who Nicole might put up on the block. It sounds like, as the conversation's happening around the BB house on the feeds, Nicole...
Memphis and Christmas, right?
Yes, wants to nominate Memphis and Christmas. And Nicole is telling everyone... Now, of course, we don't know what she's saying in the diary room, but in the house, she's saying she wants Memphis out. And I think the conversations we're seeing where she's talking to Cody, I think that's genuine. When she's telling Cody she wants Memphis out. I think that's what she wants.
And Cody's like, yes, we want Memphis out because it's better for his game.
Yeah. But he's also seen how Memphis is playing some things, and Cody wasn't the guy in the mix.
Wise guys.
The wise guys.
Too?
Plus, 2.0.
2.0. Wise
so
guys
that's what we're
won.
talking about here. There's the double dipping and the triple dipping. And so we've got the Nicole Franzel dipping right now. It's dipping sauces.
Right. And she's dipping, but she realized her ally is Cody. So she's going to try to keep him safe. Mm-hmm. I just wondering if Cody is thinking, because, I've always said, if Cody really thought he was going to win his season the first time, I really do believe that. And that has to weigh on him, on his decision making right now. So he has to think about, can I beat Enzo or can I beat Nicole? Because right now, with what's his name? I was gonna say Tennessee, but that's what's her name's daughter? Memphis.
Oh, Memphis. Yeah.
Memphis.
There's holidays. There's cities. You're thinking states.
I don't know what's going on. Lord Jesus.
Memphis is in Tennessee, right?
Yes. But he's just good Lord.
I've been teaching some 3rd grade and 5th grade distance learning right now. It's not. Kids, I'll get right back to you on that. Google, help.
I know. So I don't know what his I don't know what Cody's plan, if he, he's thinking he can beat Nicole in the final 2. Nicole, I think Cody could basically beat everybody. Mm-hmm. He might lose a vote with Kevin because Kevin has a personal issue with him, but I don't know. We'll see.
And what we talk about is one vote can make the difference. But you think Cody's got most of that jury on lock if he were up there against really anybody in the house? But I don't know. But what
if Cody
Enzo
goes,
what
if I'm taking Christmas to the final 2? Because he thinks everyone hates Christmas.
There you go. Maybe.
I don't know. Jason, I don't know how this is going to play out. I really don't have a clue. Usually you kind of like, oh, they're going to take this person. I have no idea what people's thought process.
If Memphis doesn't get POV and save himself, or someone working with Memphis, like Christmas will fight for it. And I believe she would pull herself down and then try to work whoever goes up next to Memphis to go, so that Christmas and she could keep Memphis. I think Memphis is working hard. He could potentially win the veto. He could keep himself safe. There are some scenarios where Memphis doesn't go, but if he does, I think this game really does look very different. And that final 2, it's totally changed, because I really, just a week ago would have said, you've got Cody, you've got Memphis and Enzo there sitting in the final 3. And then it's everybody battling it out in competitions.
Well, it's 5, right? So technically it could be a tie, right?
This week's vote.
Is it 5 left? So it could be a tie.
Dani, this is the math that I was told there would be no math on the podcast.
So there's 5 left, right?
Yeah, you've got an HOH who can't vote and 2 nominees. So that's 3.
2 nominees. So
then there would be 2 votes.
So there's 2 votes.
Right. So it could be split 1-1, and then your HOH, Nicole, makes the decision.
I will force her hand and make her make a decision.
Yeah, get some blood on her hands. I
would tell her.
That's good.
We did that in season 3 for who, and that was you said you should have used the veto, the infamous line that you said. But that was good TV, and this will be a great move. I was like, you know what? Let's make it a tie. Let's let her make the decision, because then
that would be really fun to watch live on TV.
That's what I would do.
We'll see.
I would actually,
but a lot of the season has been very predictable, so I feel like she keeps her noms the same, because she or Cody win the power veto, and they keep it the way it is, and we see either Memphis or Christmas go home, and they'll just decide how the 2 votes should go before live
anytime night. The HOH can break a tie, I leave it up to the HOH. I want them to make that decision. That's me personally, but that would be good TV, but I don't think they're clever enough to think of anything like that. Oops.
Well, we shall see. And with that, some shots fired.
I'm just saying.
Dani, as we leave, we got to talk about our favorite dips here, because everybody's double dipping and triple dipping, and we're going to see what it is. The Franzel dip is being served up now. This season, Showman's free.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dang.
No, you did it, dang.
That's the music. I'm out of here.
All right, bye. Let's go steal us. All right, cool.
I might get in trouble for that. Sorry, guys. Just joking. Goofing around.
He's not. I love it. Thanks, Jason.
Bye, Dani. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.